Hey everyone, I hope you had a great weekend. Welcome back to another great week of tanks. My name is Susie Kim, this is Wolf Schroeder, and this is the WGL APAC-ASIA Gold Series.
That's right, we're going into another week of World of Tanks here. It's Monday, it's time to get back into this. We've got just 2 weeks left here of our round robins before we go into playoffs on February 4th, so get ready for that.
Speaking of February 4th, let's go ahead and look at the overview of this entire season that we've done so far. So here's the schedule. We started November 26th, and like you said, February 4th, that is going to be the playoff day. Wow, I can't believe it. We only have about a week or two left. The tournament structure is a best of 9 on 4 maps, not 2, and just like last series, tiebreaker is always going to be that 9th game on a whole different map. It's 8-team double round robin.
Yep, and we're doing the same rules as last season for the most part, although there have been a few big changes. Like, for example, we're going to have our tank tier limit up to 10, and our battle time is also being moved up to 10. We have a few new maps, Prokhorovka, Murovanka, and Cliff. And our point system is going to be the same as last season. To reiterate that, 3 points for a win, 2 points for winning a tiebreaker. Losing a tiebreaker nets you only 1 point, and if you lose, you just don't get any points at all.
Anything at all. And speaking of tiebreakers, I mean, we've been having quite a few of them nowadays. And again, it is now the last stretch. Like, this is it right here. All the teams are going to have to play all the same amount of games. And here, this is where it counts. If you win or lose, or even if you get a tiebreaker win or loss, each of these points are going to really push you up and down the ranking systems. But before we go into the rankings, let's go ahead and introduce those teams to you. So the teams right now who are playing, who have been a part of this WGL Season 2 in the Gold Series, EL Gaming, Horsemen, Super Noobs. EL and Super Noobs being the two teams who have shown the most incredible games just in terms of accuracy and strategy and things like that. While on the other end, we have, the Immortals, PvP Super Friends, and Team Efficiency, who've been struggling a little bit, but just in recent days have been showing us some better games. Yeah,
now Horsemen, Karen Tiger, and B Gaming, though, those are the 3 teams really fighting for those last 2 playoff spots. Those 3 teams are really in close contention to that. When we look at the rankings in a little bit, you guys will actually see just how close that is. But yeah, we've kind of got 3 subsets. You've got EL and the Super Noobs are way at the top. And at the bottom, you have Super Friends, Team Efficiency, and the Immortals. But in the middle of things, again, is Horsemen, Karen Tiger, and B Gaming.
Yeah, I mean, it's just really strange to see. I think last season, it was definitely EL Gaming on top, just like this. Except now we have EL and Super Noobs. It's neck and neck. Playoffs is the last 4 teams. It's ranks 1 through 4, and basically we want to know now, when we get to that day, who is going to be 3rd and 4th.
Yeah, and that's exactly who we're looking at here. And when you look at 3, 4, and 5, Horsemen, Karen Tiger, and B Gaming. Now, B Gaming is the furthest behind technically, but when you think about the fact that's only 4 points, they're really close. I mean, you look at the difference between Karen Tiger and B Gaming being 3 points. And then you look at the difference between PvP Super Friends and B Gaming, that's 11 points. I mean, this is clearly not even really that close of a race right now. So just taking a look at these teams, I would say when you see Horsemen, Karen, and B Gaming playing, those are the teams you want to watch right now. Now, if you're a big fan of Super Friends, Team Efficiency, or the Immortals, pay close attention to their games too, because one of those 3 teams, or actually no, 2 of those 3 teams, will be knocked out of Gold Series.
And it's interesting because today we have Team Efficiency playing against the Immortals, and just considering how amazingly they've been playing these days, Team Efficiency definitely has a chance to take those 3 points, which would mean then they get into that 6th place position and overthrow PvP Super Friends and stay in the Gold Series.
Yeah, it's really important. Now, we're going to jump into letting you guys know about today's matchup, who's playing today. We're going to take a closer look at that.
All right, so today we have, like I said, Team Efficiency versus Horsemen. Now, that first game, I think, will be a little more difficult as Horsemen have proven themselves to be very strong. They are 3rd place as of right now. But then match number 2 versus the Immortals, I don't know, I feel like they can definitely come out with 3 points on that one.
Yeah, it's definitely possible. Now, EL Gaming versus Karen Tiger, this is one of those matchups that has been a classic, epic matchup. Last season, it was number 1 versus number 2. This season, it's number 1 versus like number 3.
Number 4,
yeah. Number 4 at this time. Karen Tiger has not looked that strong this season, not as strong as they did last season at the very least. But we'll see if they can actually take some games off of EL. That'll definitely be the best match of the night.
I think so too. Karen Tiger, first half of the entire season, they went ahead and worked without Obelisk. Now that Obelisk is back on the team, you can see that they have some stranger team strategies, and they've been coming up with some more creative things. So we'll have to see how the synergy works out now. But you know what? We're going to go ahead and introduce to you the first matchup of the night, the first team. And the first team would be Team Efficiency, the team that is dangerous and efficient.
Yep. Death Skies, D-Juice, and Dexta. It's funny, they're all three of their names start with a D, but they are the scariest members of the team. They're the most successful members. Death Skies serving a captain role a lot of the time last season. Now D-Juice and Dexta really stepping in. There's a lot of different roles on this team, and all the players do see a lot of playtime. Our newest players are Safi, Momiji, Sponster, Skell, and Nomad. None of those players were actually around last season, but we've seen all 4 of them, 5 of them, in fact.
They've been doing really well this season. And again, I really feel like this is the season where this team starts to gel together, because towards the end, we just see a much better play, faster decision making, and it just seems that they're getting more used to the way that their team is, composed of one another. Now, here are the Horsemen. This is the team from Taiwan. This is definitely a team last season where we would see them all clumped up together like a pack of horses running. But this season, we've seen more of a slower game from them, and I don't know, maybe the horses don't like each other anymore.
Yeah, I mean, they're definitely playing super slow, but they have found more success with that, actually, than we saw them do last season. So, just looking at their players, Feluso, Archon, Colin, Gorilla, Just Rex, Nunn, also Spencer. These players play a lot. The only players we haven't really seen that much are Name Violation and Raven K, but even Dark DH
and
Master
Meat
has...
Bun.
That's true, Meat Bun also hasn't played.
I have not seen Meat Bun. He's just kind of like a filler thing. I really enjoy Meat Buns. I would like to see Meat Buns playing. Meat
Buns are great. If you've never tried a Meat Bun, go and check it out.
You definitely should. All right, guys, so it looks like the maps have been chosen for this first matchup. It's going to be Ghost Town first, then Himmelsdorf, obviously. It was going to be one of the other.
It was definitely going to be there.
Yeah, and then Steps and Ruinberg
so
as
Steps
maps.
sneaks in. Look at that.
Maps 3 and 4. Then, of course, tiebreaker map on Cliff. This is as standard as you can get.
Yeah. We haven't seen Steps that much this season, but it has been slightly increasing in popularity towards the end of the round robin. So to see it sneak in there is pretty cool, because we're going to see it no matter what, even if it's a 5-0, which I think a lot of people would put Horsemen at a 5-0, but we've seen a lot of upsets. Team Efficiency has been looking better recently, so I think this could even be my prediction is maybe a 5-2.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty fair.
I think that's pretty fair. 5-1, 5-2. That's where I would put it at as well. But yeah, right now it looks like, oh wow, they didn't give us the screen for the lobby. Now we're in the dark as much as you guys are.
Yeah, we actually lost our feed for that today, so we won't know when it's starting until we get our cue from our producer. But it will be soon, no doubt, because we had our whole intro and things like that, so they should have had enough time to get ready. But yeah, this should be a good, exciting first matchup of the week.
Okay, Horsemen, I'm just trying to think. Horsemen, yeah, 5-2. You think with this win they would be able to go ahead and take that third place spot?
Yeah, I think that would pretty much secure it.
Second place spot? They secure the third place spot. All right, guys. Well, it looks like the game is ready. We're gonna go ahead head into game number 1. All right, here we are, set number 1, Team Efficiency versus the Horsemen. It looks like Team Efficiency will be on the attack first.
Well, we're seeing that trend continue. I thought it might have been just a fad, Susie, but it looks like...
215B fad?
Exactly. We're seeing more and more 215Bs all over the place here in Asia. And we're going to see compositions built around that for both teams. 2 E100s for Horsemen, 1 bat shot apiece for these two teams. The real difference being here in... the fact that Team Efficiency is only running 1 E100, and they're going to bring a RU-251, whereas Horsemen are going to bring the T-54 lightweight. So we have very similar compositions here. Now, Team Efficiency is going to be on the attack first, and they are going to try to break right through the center. Notice that the Horsemen are also being very aggressive in their posturing here for the defense, moving towards the center.
All right, well, let's see here. Slow start. We can see everyone is just gathering their positions here. We've been seeing this more and more on this map where we're not seeing that crazy rush. The 215Bs really like standing right in that road corridor. I don't
Yeah,
know
like
what to call
right on the edge of this little ramp here.
on the broken school building.
Yeah, it's a really good area to stay because it does give you a lot of coverage of the road that, say, the E100 that would pass through if you look at the minimap. And we really need street signs of World of Tanks so we can name every road. It's like, oh, well, if they go down Main Street, then the guys over there on 1st and 2nd can actually just blow them up. But it gives you a great line of sight, and you can actually hit a great... like you have so much great coverage, and you can hit a tank instantly. You can like focus fire down any squishy tank right away. So something to keep in mind. Now, team efficiency pushed towards the center of the map, towards that base capture number 2 very aggressively. However, they have slowed down quite a bit here. And looks like they're just going to kind of sit and wait. 2 bat shots might meet here. That could be a bit of a firefight.
That is scary. Well, Dexter on that RU-251 just going to zip around a bit. Oh, gosh, taking a bit of damage, though. That 215B really had his eye out on him. Dark DH gets a good chunk off of Dexter.
Yeah, it's actually only the 2nd shot connected in this entire game. Spencer, the only other player to take some damage. And now we see a big movement
here's
here.
A big push. Yeah, we can see team efficiency. All of the 215Bs, basically, they're going to follow Dexter in, go around. I think they're going to try to head over to the base capture number 1 area.
Yeah, you know what? There's actually not a lot of coverage over there, and I think this is actually somewhat... I think the idea here was given by Dexter. I think he saw, he saw and noticed there's not that many tanks up there, and they're all going to push down that direction now.
Safi is just going to park himself in front of that school, make sure he can give good cover for the rest of his team as they head up. But yeah, Horsemen, I'm pretty sure. Ooh, look at that. On their way, they're like, we're going to go kill Faluso. Faluso's like, guys, it looks like team efficiency on their way.
Yeah, notice if you look at the minimap right away, you can tell there's a massive movement of these tanks coming back now to respond to this push, but they have so much coverage here.
Momiji is going to go ahead and start that base capture timer, and while the rest of them, they're just going to have to cover. I have a feeling they're going to do that thing where, you know, once you get to a certain point, stick all the tanks in, and hopefully it'll work out for them this time around. There you go. There's Itis. That's the 2nd tank. Base capture is going to go down to 20 seconds already.
Here come those 215Bs, though. Safi's going to see them. And I think they can put that 3rd tank in there. I think it's pretty wise to do so to make sure that they can lock this down.
Yeah, I think Dexter is over there too. 10 seconds left on this base capture.
Faluso can also try to deny. He's got a good line of sight here, but they're going to have to do it now.
No, I don't think he does have good line of sight because it's Momiji who started this, and he's hiding behind a building. Dexter does go down, which brings the base capture back up, but like we said, the original tank is still in there. Team efficiency just have to stop this push from Horsemen.
And Momiji
though. Does take that damage. They were not able to get rid of this Dark DH, Gorilla, and Archon line.
Yeah, this is starting to look really bad for team efficiency. Even though it was such a great start and it was such a great plan, things fell apart when they put the 3rd tank in there, and Horsemen did come and walk all over them. It's now basically 6 tanks in total.
It would have worked if they would have been able to just stop them in their tracks. You know, if they could just freeze that lane and not have those tanks even be able to come around, that plan would have worked really perfectly.
Yeah, I feel like they definitely did not set the best defensive position there. Like, the idea was logically sound, but the execution was a bit off. But now team efficiency is just going to eventually fall apart. And Horseman will take this first win.
Okay, well, Dark DH does go on. I mean, to be fair, if they play it if Safi is fully reloaded and decides to take everyone out like 1 by 1, he can take out Nun and Archon pretty easily. But see?
But he just gets burst down, unfortunately.
Hey, he got one.
He got one, and your line of thinking is actually not wrong. You know, he actually could have, if he had better line of sight and better coverage, like if Maul was protecting, it could have been different. But Horsemen will take the first game here, which will give them a 1-0 lead. And they've got that momentum going for them here in game 1. So we'll see what they're going to do now that they're going to be on the attack.
Yeah.
And team efficiency will be on the defense.
So far, I feel like the trend also has been defense has always won. And I say these
Sure.
things, and then, of course, I curse the teams because that's just what I do, apparently. But without cursing the teams, I do feel like the defensive teams always just kind of have the advantage.
We did have, especially last week, both days last week, but I feel like, if I'm not mistaken, it was Thursday mostly where this was like really true.
Yeah.
And I was looking at this, and I didn't even notice until you said it. I was like, oh my God. I was like, these games are so close. You're like, well, defense always wins. I'm like, oh, yeah, that's why. It's like 1v1 every time, or sorry, 1-1 every time. But yeah, I think that also the level of play between these teams is starting to level out a little bit,
Yeah.
especially for these teams that are trying to get playoffs. Those three teams, Horsemen, Karen Tiger, and B Gaming, the level of play is getting really close. But team efficiency is also like rocketed up. I mean, they played a really good strat in that last game.
Team Efficiency is also one of those teams that are very quick to pick their tanks. They have everything ready. I really feel like they've been doing more to just be very prepared for these games and practice towards their opponent. But yeah, like you said, in the beginning, they were losing everything, and now they're just taking games off of these strong teams left and right. Honestly, like, wow.
Yeah, so, well, they are down a game in this series, but they did have a good strategy last game. I feel like if they had just positioned their tanks a little bit better and left only Momiji in there initially for a little bit longer and then put the rest of the tanks in there, might have been better. They didn't have coverage of that western street as well, and the eastern street was the biggest problem. That's where all the 2 and 5Bs sneaked around the back. And I think they just kind of clumped up a little bit and then eventually just kind of got stuck in there. Like the 2 and 5Bs came around behind, and Momiji was the last to get hit, but it was still like too late.
Yeah, I feel like also they could have gotten, the lightweight was sitting there, right? And they could have gotten rid of him because he kept hitting and trying to reset the counters too. Like, he was all by himself. I don't understand why they just couldn't get rid of him first.
Yeah, that
and
was.
then not have to,
They missed a few shots on him for sure. Like, if the accuracy was a little bit better, there would have been a totally different game. I have to agree with you on that one.
All right. Well, we're gonna switch sides. I think the tanks are picked.
Looks like it.
Yep. And we're gonna get back onto Ghost Town once everything is loaded, which it is now. So we're gonna go ahead and head into game number 2. Welcome to game number 2. This is Ghost Town, everyone. Team Efficiency versus Horsemen. Horsemen took that first game, and they will go ahead on the attack now.
So let's take a look at Horsemen's tanks as they are going to be doing that attack. It looks like it's basically the same comp they ran last time, except that they're going to replace their RU-251 with Feluso on the 416. The Skillet tank, he's going to be low to the ground and will be used very most likely on the capture point number 1, that B6.
Was it a RU? No, it was the lightweight on their
okay,
team.
that's right. Yeah, for team efficiency, it was the RU-251, which is where Dexta is now again. This game was side swapped. And we actually have a 50B for team efficiency as well. Not a single E100 for them on the defense. They're going to be relying on damage instead.
All right, well, already we can see Horsemen traveling as a pack. This is what they do, guys.
Almost 100% they're going to be going for the B6 capture point. But they are being very patient about it, taking a long time. And we talked about this a lot last week, especially with one particular matchup where every game almost went to 10 minutes. Whereas these teams, especially the teams that are really, really dire for points and everything's getting really close, they're not going to waste, or they're not going to waste time is what I mean to say. What I mean to say is they're not going to, how do I word this? They're not going to like rush things. They're going to spend as much time as possible to do their objective.
Right, to make sure they don't make any mistakes. Now check out Feluso's tank on the Skillet. You've got their logo on there. That is so sick.
So see, they are starting to now finally gain some ground towards that B6. The Object 416 leading the charge over there with Spencer.
You think it's going to do the B6 capture point? I really feel like they're all around capture point number 2. Unless they are trying to pretend like they're going to capture point 2.
I think that's what they're doing. I think they want team efficiency to overcommit to deal with capture number 2. Then the Object 416 tank is going to be hard to hit because it's so low to the ground. They're going to use it in that base capture, just like we saw those tanks that I always forget the name of, the low to the ground tanks, the great hull down tanks from last season that we would have in there. I want to say T21s.
T32s.
32s, okay. I knew it was a T-tank of some kind. All right. But yeah, it's going to be a similar strategy to what we saw a lot of the time last season.
All right, well, yeah, team efficiency, they're just kind of all around this middle capture point. I think that's where they feel that the Horsemen are going to go. However, soon Dexta is going to see that that is not the case, that they are going to come up to the B6 capture point. Or are they? Faluso, what are you calling?
It's actually really quite difficult to tell what their plan is here in this second game. They're being so patient, which is funny because we talked about how Horsemen likes to travel as a pack, they're very aggressive. But this season, and especially about halfway through the season, they started playing like Team Turtlemen.
I know.
Like Ninja Turtles. Like they're so slow and so patient.
And they eat pizza. I mean,
yeah.
Oh,
Kind of want some pizza now.
I do too.
Well, the movement is, I feel like we can say conclusively now towards B6. I believe at this point,
Here
unless they turn
we go.
around.
There we go. All the 215Bs heading over into the B6 captures point.
Yeah, notice where Faluso is going to be. He's going to be right in that crater.
None takes a little bit of damage. He's the first one so far with 6 minutes. At 6 minutes and 45 seconds, None is the only one who's taken any damage.
Now, we ended up calling this tank the skillet tank because the actual, armor around the turret it looks like an actual pan, a frying pan. Mm-hmm. But I was calling it the pancake tank when we first saw it this season because it's so flat. And you could see it just sits right underneath that little dip in there, that little crater. It's very hard to hit because it's very small. Dexta taking a shot. Meanwhile,
oh, Dark DH is going to head in there. They're using the same tactic that Team Efficiency did before, but I feel like they're in a much better position to be able to defend it well. Base capture is at 14 seconds.
Look at the coverage.
Look at this. Yeah, I was going to say, there's no way Team Efficiency can even get remotely near this base capture.
None is blocking one path, and Colin is blocking the other. That's why E100s are great on this map. I'm not saying 215Bs are not, but to have the support of the E100s makes this so much easier.
Momiji and Chris just cannot, they can't. Better chance for them to come around. Now, while that was happening, Faluso did get hit. Base capture did reset, and Dark DH had to come out of it. Which I guess, in a way, Team Efficiency did do their job. Ooh.
Yeah, well, I find it, first of all, weird that Spencer's coming up like this. I think maybe they saw the situation getting dire and they wanted him to do some extra damage, but this game could potentially turn around because now it's a numbers advantage for Team Efficiency, not a hit point advantage.
Okay, I'm really confused. So while that was happening then, because that's what the screen was focusing on, outside of our camera angle, that's where Team Efficiency, I think, came around and decided to take advantage of the fact that 4 of the tanks were going to be standing right in the middle blocking, and now they could actually come by and finish this up. Wow.
Also, None died. He was doing his job, but he died, and you talked about the reset. I don't want to get too deep on this analysis because I think we're going to have the final moment here. Archon dies.
And defense wins.
There we go. So defense wins again. Thank you for that, Susie. Your patterns, your curses become real every time you say them.
It's really scary, actually.
But I think things started to fall apart when None died. At the same time that None died, one stray shot from one of those tanks that was sneaking around that we saw, we didn't see on camera, but was actually happening. Meanwhile, like you were just discussing, a stray shot did hit multiple tanks, and the whole base capture was reset, and None was dead, and the tanks were able to funnel through, and then suddenly the autoloader, the bat shed,
the bat shed.
I forgot who was on it just now. I think it was None, I believe. No, None was on the E100. Whoever's on the bat shed, which might have been even Gorilla. My mind escapes me on this one. He actually just ran through all the tanks and didn't do that much damage. Actually, no, it was Spencer. Now that I remember, it was Spencer.
Oh,
He ran through all the tanks and did he did a little bit of damage to everyone and then died. And I'm like, well, that wasn't good. Maybe he was stuck there. I'm not 100% sure, but that was a good start. And I almost felt like they had the game won 100%, and then things went wrong there.
All right, well, it's because they were playing defense. That's my theory. Anyway, it looks like we're going to take out Momiji and put in Death Skies for this next map. We are on Himmelsdorf, of course. If it's not Ghost Town, it's going to be Himmelsdorf, right?
That's right. So this map, by the way, while we're here, while we're still on screen, while the game hasn't started, run and grab your soda, grab some orange juice, go get a toothbrush, brush your teeth or something, because this could be a longer game. You want to just chill. You're going to be in your chair for a little while. If you were like, well, I'll wait till Himmelsdorf's finished and then I'll go to the bathroom. No, go right now because this is going to be a long one as Horsemen are playing on Himmelsdorf.
Yes.
Could be timeouts for both games.
You are right. You're totally right. Horsemen liking to play it very slow. games. To be honest, I don't know. Maybe Team Efficiency might be able to push a little bit of a faster game. They are on the attack first, but we'll have to see if defense wins this one.
Team Efficiency has had like some real awesome strategies this season too. Like
have.
I feel like they're the teams that are really like when you see a Team Efficiency strat, even if it doesn't win you the game, you're like, oh, that makes sense. Like what we saw even on game 1 on Ghost Town. When I see like a Karen Tiger out there strat, I'm like, oh, I don't know about that. But like when I see the Team Efficiency strat, I'm like, okay, this makes sense to me. Like I can really see why this would work in scrims and why this probably works in on their matches in the client as well, like off regular matches, like non-tournament matches, like ranked play.
All right, for Horsemen, it looks like they're going to take a Dark DH. Dark DH is coming out, and we're going to have Sidonia Tommy into the roster.
Okay. Well, that's warranted, I suppose. It's probably a map decision. I feel like both of those players were not problematic in the last game.
I think it is a map decision.
Yeah, most teams don't pull players out because they have like bad. Like no one goes, oh, he really screwed up on steps. We like got to pull him out.
Well, maybe they did. We just don't know about it.
Sure. I mean, usually it's either a map dependent choice that's obvious. Sometimes we can even tell it's like, oh, we always see like Ironhide on Himmelsdorf like for super noobs. He's always there. But sometimes it's also like a connection problem. Like somebody had a connection problem. They're kind of lagging in and out in the game, and then it's like, okay, go fix your problem while we're in game 3. We'll bring you back in if you fix it. Otherwise, we're going to put Dark DH in.
All right. These two teams, though, they Horsemen like to do this too. They swap out their players quite a lot depending on the maps that they're playing. And yeah, since we are on Himmelsdorf, they're just going to go ahead and pick that best roster for them. But it looks like everything is ready, guys. We're going to head into game number 3. All right, guys, welcome to Himmelsdorf. Team Efficiency versus Horsemen. This is set number 3. Teams are tied 1-1, and it looks like TE is on the attack first.
All right, I'm going to spend a lot of time talking about these tanks because this is going to be a longer one most likely. Let's talk about Team Efficiency's tanks first as they are on the attack. They're bringing that 1-1-3, which has gained a little bit of traction recently. Uh-oh, we have a connection problem with these guys, or are they chilling? Not sure what's going on here. Uh-oh. Hopefully everything is okay.
I hope they're just chilling.
But we can still talk about the tanks a little bit because even if we do have a regame, the tanks will be the same. So 1-1-3, an E100, 215B, 2 E5s. E5s getting a little bit more popular on this map. They were not used after like the first week or two.
Yeah, we've been seeing them back again here on the 1390 Sophie. Obviously 1390 likes to go up on the castle side, duck out in this little corner here. That's their like peephole. They can look out and see the rest of the city and see what's going on over there.
Yep, Horsemen are running 3 E100s, which is more common on the attack side to try to break almost like a ramming barrage. Was it battering ram into the A6 capture point? And they're bringing 1 E3. No Waffen on this one. Colin taking a little bit of damage from some source meanwhile.
Oh, yeah.
And those tanks have moved, by the way, so it looks like it was a conscientious decision.
Spencer needs to be careful going up all the way to the castle side, and Maw's like, nope, dude, get away. Spencer does avoid that first shot, does get the second one in the face.
He would have lived with, doing some simple math here, 32 health if he had gotten hit by that last one, but still, every chunk of health is important. He stays alive here.
All right, but now he does know he can go ahead and let his teammates know that there's a bunch of tanks up there.
Yeah, I'm not sure how many of them he saw. Like, he might have gotten the idea there was more than one.
I'm just not sure why there's so many of them up on the castle side, unless they're all planning on coming down towards base capture number 2.
My conspiracy theory here actually is that, like, a few of those tanks were lagging. And, well, I don't think they're lagging anymore, even though they are stationary. I think a few of them may have been lagging, and then they were like, well, let's use a strat based on the fact that we're all a bit out of position.
I'm a little worried about that.
Yeah, well, now they're not moving at all still, so I'm like, I think this is intentional, but I could be wrong. See, if you look at the main map, they're like moving slightly. I think they're really just trying to surprise Horsemen.
Maybe they're kind of surprised and like all travel as a pack down into base capture number 2.
Old school Horseman style.
Yeah.
I hope that's what's actually about to happen. Their cursors, their crosshairs are moving.
All right, Team Efficiency is moving. That's good. They're going to come down the castle side and run into, yes, there we go. All 4 of them moving. Whew, I'm so glad.
Okay,
so that would have been disastrous.
The Horsemen are meanwhile playing very defensively and are going to be mostly set up to defend the F2 capture point, but the A6 is like pretty vulnerable. That's where they're all coming. So I don't know how well this is gonna go.
Gorilla taking a very good shot over onto Griff's rather, sorry.
You know, they are realizing what's going on though. That's really important that Gorilla sees this movement of tanks, and the rest of the tanks are rotating up now.
I love it. Dexter is going to go ahead and sit in the base, but so is Safi on 2 different corner capture points.
This is a really nice move here by Team Efficiency. They see the weak point of Horsemen. I'm gonna have both these tanks covered. Normally, where Safi is would not be safe, but because they have no one here, it's very safe.
There's no one behind them, and they know that right now. Faluso is going to come in on his E100 and see where he could find, but Safi, look how tiny this 1390 is. Be able to hide back there. I like that Griff's on the E5. He's going to try to protect Dexter from Sidonia Tommy. Dexter can't get hit, but he does. As long as he doesn't die, though.
And they're going to trade out some health here, and the base capture is reset. That was a crazy ricochet if I've ever seen one.
Wow.
Sidonia Tommy, I think, getting the worst into the trade here, but Faluso and Gorilla are nearby.
Death Skies is nearby as well.
Okay, good accuracy here from Team Efficiency. I think they might actually eventually win this fight. Safi could come over and help. Dexter gets very low, though.
Dexter does get low. They know that that's the tank to blow up so that the base capture doesn't get down. But, again, Safi is on there. Safi, don't go anywhere. Where are you going?
Calling coming from behind.
Oh, Safi leaving the circle has...
This is not looking good. Sidonia Tommy does get taken out here, but Griff's should be the next to fall. Colin may be the one to finish him. Yeah, Safi's so low. He's still alive, but I think it's going to be a moot point here as Horseman takes a massive lead, 5 tanks to 3, and a 3,000 hit point lead here. Down goes Colin.
Dear. Yeah, Colin does go down, but it just looks pretty grim right now for Team Efficiency. They are, you know what? Again, they had this great idea, and I liked having both those tanks in there. Just they need to find their teammates really need to help them defend better.
Yeah.
And that's the problem here.
They had good accuracy too. I feel like even almost better than Horsemen's in that last fight.
Oof, Maul taking some critical hits there. He blows up, and now it is just Skell on that E5 all by himself, and there comes Gorilla around the corner.
Yep, Gorilla will live here, and Skell will be destroyed. Gorilla looks like he's on cooldown with his rounds. He could kill Skell easily with his next round.
Yeah.
Looks like it might be Archon.
Everyone else is going to do it too. Nope, it was Gorilla in the end. Horsemen are going to go ahead and win game 3. Defense wins again.
Defense wins again. Again, Susie's curse is...
Hey, maybe it's not a curse, but a foreseeing...
it's like a force of nature. You're like, the defense will always win. It's always good to be defensive, guys. Never be on the offense. Don't fight in school.
I'm
just like
hypnotizing them.
What's the word for this? Always practice good self-defense. You know, not... Don't ever hurt someone. Like if you know, in self-defense you can fight back, but never attack. I don't know. The 8th tank always goes on the side of the defense. That is the clock.
But again, I mean, the clock didn't matter these first 3 games. To be completely honest with you, it's just the curse. It's the defensive curse, or it's not the curse. Curse makes it sound terrible.
Yeah, it's just the trend, the pattern,
yeah, something like that. All right, so we'll have to see if when they switch sides, Team Efficiency wins this, because then, yeah, that'd be 2
That would
for
be
2.
like that would be too much proof. We would just have to leave it at that.
We'll just have to leave it at that, and then
we would just look at who won the coin toss for the tiebreaker and be like, all right, they won, and we just walk out until the next best of 9.
Oh dear. Okay, so I hope not. Then we'd be missing out on a lot of tanks, Wolf. I don't think the viewers would want that either. All right, guys, it looks as though they are just going to switch up the stuff, the tanks.
Yep.
And
we have a few tank swaps in here. Doesn't look like any player swaps. Something to keep in mind that last game, though, was, again, you talked about it a lot, was the 2 tanks in the corners.
Yeah.
1 tank next to the lower ramp. I think it was Safi in this case, and the other tank in the corner cap, which I believe was Dexter. Now, that sort of play, we haven't seen too much yet, usually because there's always at least one tank watching the ramp that comes from the castle. In this case, we only had Gorilla in the, what I like to call the bunker, where you like have the turret sticking out of the front, and he didn't have vision of that. So I learned a lot, actually, in that last game, because I always wondered why they put so much emphasis on the castle, because it's risky to go down the castle side. Why do they always have somebody watching there? But if you don't stop them, if they get somebody in there, the defense of that capture point becomes twice as hard, literally. You got two places, two corners that tanks can hide behind.
I thought it was great. All right, we'll see if we're going to see some crazy strategies like that again. Let's get into game number 4. All right, everyone, game number 4. We're back on Himmelsdorf. The score is 2 to Horseman, 1 to Team Efficiency. It's Horseman's time to attack. We'll have to see if defense wins this one as well.
We'll see if Horseman can break the spell and actually go into a 3-1, or if Team Efficiency is going to continue the trend here. Let's see how Horseman decides to approach this, because the last strategy from Team Efficiency, the patience game, the pretend to lag strat, was pretty strong. I don't think they were actually lagging. I think they really just wanted to keep themselves hidden, because if someone goes up the castle and sees all of them there, it's pretty obvious what they're trying to do. And also, if you're not moving, then your opponent's sixth sense isn't going to go off, their engine's not going to go off, camo, etc. So, all right, well, let's not get too deep into that last game, as we do see now Colin has moved his way across into the courtyard. He thinks he's an AMX 1390 or a 12-ton from the tier 8 meta like we had last season, but he's actually just an IS-7. We've seen Ironhide also do this on the IS-7. Kind of hold that middle ground, like the central road. If there were street names in World of Tanks, that would be Main Street for sure.
Main Street, Courtyard Lane.
Ooh!
Maw! Careful there, buddy.
Yeah, he lost his track. He repaired it, though. You could say he's on track now.
Har, har, har.
No, it looks like Horseman on the attack. You know, when Horseman's on the attack, that ends up being the slower game. It seems like counterintuitive, because you'd think the defensive team on defense makes a slower game, but sometimes the attacking team just attacks into Horseman. But Horseman's on the attack, like, nah, no, attack, we don't do that.
Attack, we're going to wait till the last possible minute and then do it, because why not?
As soon as I said that too, you noticed it was like a glitch for their observing screen, like the swords went away. I'm like, see? Like, even the observer was like, nah, they're not on attack. Maybe we made a mistake. I think that this is definitely going to be a slower game here.
Yeah, crossfires are, you know, it looks like Dexter trying to take some shots on top of the castle, see what they could hit. But again, until Horseman decides to make a move, we're just going to be kind of at a standstill, really.
Yep.
But yeah, you know, Team Efficiency on the defense, they really don't need to press the issue.
So Colin is basically just trying to get any sort of information about where the weak point of Team Efficiency is. Where should a Horseman attack? Where can they attack? Where's their opportunity? I'm feeling like A6 is the way to go based on the setup right now for Team Efficiency, but there's not enough vision yet for Horseman to make that conclusion. They are going to slowly push down.
I was going to say, yeah, they can push down. Spencer on the 1390 should just go ahead and scout out this area first. Faluso peeping his head out, doesn't see anything. Spencer's going to go over to the other road, see if there's anyone over there. And yeah, like you said, I think the E100 might make his way down to the A6 capture point, find himself a corner.
That's always the best tank to have go around a corner like this, because he's going to be able to take a shot and be okay with it. This is on the attack, of course. If you had an IS-7, or if you had two IS-7s in this case, you could have that do the checking, but it's going to be too slow. The E100 is going to be able to check this safely. Now we're seeing that corner capture point, the A7 one.
Yep.
The same one we saw last game with Safi being contested here. It's actually going to be Spencer in there on the 1390 this time.
Oh, okay. And I think Sidonia Tommy then might come around and use that other capture point. Exactly what Team Efficiency had done in the previous game. But yeah, we're going to have to see how this works. None on the E100 hops in that base as well. It's up to Team Efficiency now to stop this base capture.
Skell is in a really good spot on that destroyer right now, but he misses a shot, which is going to cost him big now on reload. So he's going to have another one available in a second. If he could hit Spencer, he could probably nearly one-shot him at this point. But 12 seconds to go. Now they need to reset that. And Grifts is not going to be your man for base capture reset in this position.
But 5 seconds, man. Spencer has not been found. I think everyone thinks that it's the 2 E100s on here, but it's Spencer actually in the corner.
You're exactly right. And it's funny because you would think that Team Efficiency would be very familiar with this because they did this last game.
They just
1
did.
second left.
I know. Oh, wow.
But you point out Spencer was not reset. Spencer is not reset, and I
Yep.
think that's actually going to do it this time.
This is going to be game.
There you
Horseman. The curse is broken.
The curse is broken. They won an attack. And Horseman won with base capture in less than 5 minutes.
Wait.
All
this
curses
is a
are
weird.
broken.
Yeah, this is weird.
Is it
game.
Friday the 13th right now?
I
or
don't know,
something?
man. It's a Monday the 25th. This is a crazy day.
Yeah, from today on, like, people will not be able to, like, on the Friday on the 25th of Mondays, people will just simply like stay at home, like put the ladders away, like
I don't get it.
Like put the black cat like in the in the playroom, like close the door, kids can't go in there. Yeah, it's
That was weird.
That was a weird
Himmelsdorf,
game, but
yeah.
you would think Team Efficiency would be well versed in defending the strategy that they themselves pretty much used the same in just the previous game.
They just didn't know where Spencer was the entire time.
Yeah.
And that
I completely agree with you. I think they thought the 3 tanks somehow fit on the other corner. And they were like, oh, we got to break this, but
they
Spencer
just didn't
was like,
think of the other. Yeah. Oh,
Spencer's like in there like clicking through songs on his iPod. He's like not concerned at all. He's like,
he
they
just
still know I'm there.
quietly sat there. That was really well done by him, not showing his face at all. And yeah, it was just like the secret little tank.
Yep.
Secret tank.
Secret tank. Secret spot. That's what we're going to call that spot from now on. Secret
secret spot?
Secret spot.
Pretty sure it's not a secret anymore.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the A7 corner, I guess if we want to be like really technical for the grid. But Susie, we're going to steps.
Oh gosh, we haven't seen steps in a while.
A real long time.
No, we saw it for tiebreaker last week, didn't we?
Yeah, and tiebreakers are like basically not real life though. Like
Okay.
they're too rare, you know. It's
They're
like
not real games.
Like someone tells you you saw a unicorn, okay, you'd be like, I don't really believe it. But like last season, we actually had IC
Oh my
flying
gosh,
unicorn.
we did. And it was a flying unicorn.
Yeah, and there's like proof. We can look up the VOD, but like when people say there's tiebreaker, no one's gonna believe you. But this is real. We're actually going into game 5 now on steps, and this map is going to be a lot more aggressive of a map.
I hope so, unless they just decide to drive around in circles and like avoid each other.
That happens sometimes. I'm actually seeing a really weird tank pick in here too. I'm getting kind of excited.
Oh.
I'm seeing several weird tank picks in here.
Ooh, all right.
And this is sometimes what happens when you don't see a map played very often.
We will have to, yeah.
The meta like changes, you know, while the map's like in hibernation, then suddenly it comes out and trust me, it's really cold here in Korea. I wouldn't be surprised if anyone wanted to go into hibernation right now.
I would love to go into hibernation right now.
So
Though it's really warm in this studio, so I guess I don't know. This is how I get sick all the time, Wolf. Man, winters are not for me.
No, they're definitely, well, they're not for me either.
Oh, it's pretty awful.
Looks like almost everybody is in the lobby and set now, so we should be jumping into the game here in just a moment. I'm really excited for that because I want to tell you guys about the tank picks that I'm seeing.
All right, well, it looks like, yeah, they're just filling in the tanks. Horsemen just gave the lineup, so once, you know, the tanks are chosen. They just have to fill in the lineups and make sure that it's all 68 points.
Yeah, make sure no one locked in the wrong tank, which actually looking at it right now, I think people did, so the tanks I saw were like not real. To be fair, I'll just tell you guys now, I saw like a Waffen in there, and I was like, a Waffen on steps? Like, what's going on? But it actually looks like just locked the wrong tank in the lobby. But if you look at the chat, you can see that that was never actually going to be a tank on this map.
Wow.
Oh, it makes me sad that I was like, oh, 6 strats, team efficiency. They're doing something weird again. No.
Do you think we're going to see the King of the Hill?
I think so, yeah. At least one of these games. We're going to see 2 games, so I think at least one of these games we will. I think there's a high chance.
Okay.
I hope so, because we haven't seen it in a while. Maybe teams have gotten better at it.
I don't know. I don't know. It's almost like saying I kind of wish Karen Tigers will run Batshot. Maybe they're better on it.
I would never say that, though. I would never say that.
I don't know, man. You could.
No one ever said that. Obelisk once said that, and the rest of the team beat him up. He was like in bandages for a while, and that's why we didn't see him for a while, because he was like, I had this idea to run all bat shots, and now they're still doing it anyways. I don't know. I can't really explain the end of this joke.
That's kind of weird. Anyway, it looks like the tanks have been picked. We are on steps. Let's get into the next game. right, guys, set number 5, Team Efficiency versus Horsemen. Horsemen up 3 games. Team Efficiency have won, and they are on the attack.
Okay, so let's take a look at these tanks. No Waffen. Sorry about that little hype moment I had earlier. Just a misclick. 4 Object 140s for the Horsemen on defense. A Leopard sneaked in. That's none on that. An E5 and Team Efficiency running 3 Object 140s and 3 TVPs. And Leopard, King of the Hill. I was like about to say, I have a feeling I know why that Leopard's here.
King of the Hill.
Last time we saw Leopard, it was for the same reason, and it like didn't go up the hill. Like they failed.
I know.
Is this gonna happen again? Are they gonna fail again? I think they got it. I think he's up. I think he's up there. Get him up there. Come on. Oh, he's going. He's on his own now. He's not even touching Feluso anymore.
Off.
He's barely touching Feluso. Feluso's like, you got this. And then let him go. Oh! Blind shot there to try to counter.
You know, it would have been great if Team Efficiency just like assumed that this is what they're doing, went straight for it, just hit all the tanks while they're pushing.
I think that's what I think Ma was like, well, there's a high chance they will do this. I haven't seen anybody yet, so let's just take a blind shot. If they had hit too, that'd be crazy. I think that's what happened last time too, that when they were on their second attempt, they actually got hit and then they were like, let's quit, let's not do this anymore.
King of the Hill.
Well, I think this is now pretty obvious what Horseman is doing.
So Team Efficiency obviously know that where they need to be. They can probably try for base capture number 1, as long as, again, if they could provide good cover for their man in the capture.
Yep. They really could have also gone super offensive and like surrounded that area. I feel like not enough teams do that. I feel like we would have seen that a lot more last season. We did see it sometimes because the T-54 lightweight was the old Object 140 for this map. You know, it was like the masked up tank that people would use, and it was a little bit faster. But now they're kind of just letting Horsemen slowly get back into position. The move here towards base capture number 2 is interesting. I think it's going to be designed to surprise these Object 140s with the power of the TVP autoloaders, which we have seen grow in popularity, especially on this map, Cliff and Murovanka in the past few weeks. I really like about only a week. It's a pretty new tank.
Oh yeah, it's only been about a week.
Yeah, it feels like it's been longer.
All the time.
Yeah. Maybe 3 broadcasts or something.
Okay, base capture has begun. The RU-251 is going to start it off.
Okay, Dexta. Only want to take some damage here.
Here's none all the way on the thing, the mountain,
the hill.
Cliff, the hill, because he's the king of it.
He is. The Leopard's got some good accuracy on this distance. It's got enough acceleration to get up that hill with some teammate support, but it's not very powerful. And it doesn't have
he's not really hitting anything right now.
Yeah, it doesn't have that much armor either. And when he goes down the hill, I mean, it's just gonna get a bit awkward.
All right, so Maul's just been chilling out here doing nothing really. Just having the base capture timer go down. He's at 60 seconds and it continues to click away.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, all you have to do is leave Maul in there and no one is able to connect with him. And the positioning here, the coverage is solid for Team Efficiency. Now keep in mind.
Ooh, Skell taking a really good shot on Gorilla there. And yeah, here we can see in the picture-in-picture that Maul, just a tiny little tank, not being able to be seen by the members of the Horsemen.
It's funny because this is actually not even the plan. This is like pressure, and the TVPs are coming around.
Yes.
And they are going to be the ones that change this game. Maw's going to step out of the circle as he sees he's vulnerable. He takes 2 shots, but here come the TVPs. Let's see what they can get done. Oh god, this is actually going to get crazy.
I think maybe that was the plan, to get everyone to follow him now,
yeah,
you know?
It was a big bait.
Yes.
I think this is actually just going to end up being a brawl.
I think so too, and they're going to be surrounded basically.
Look at Skell, he's again drawing these tanks out of position.
And from afar, the TVPs need to be doing some damage, but right now we don't see that. Come on closer, guys, unless they're going to go ahead and try to base capture number 2.
Here they come. Some of them are getting close to engaging here, but this seems very sloppy. Why is Grifts and Momiji actually out here alone? Skell goes down meanwhile.
Not sure. All right, Grifts and Momiji, they didn't make it in. Maw does fall. So the RU-251 is gone. Grifts is going to just get 3v1'd right here.
This is a good example of a plan gone wrong.
4v1'd. Oh dear.
Yeah, this is definitely not well coordinated.
No.
Even though the idea, again, as it always is with team efficiency, is really smart, the execution is somewhat lacking here. Down goes Dexta, and now many of these TVPs still on reload. And the Leopard is actually loving this this brawl here because he's totally out of the fight, but can still do consistent damage with his accuracy.
It's it seems like Team Efficiency was trying to bait Horseman, but at the same time, Horseman just baited Team Efficiency to come closer to Leopard so that Leopard can do more damage. And one by one, Itis and Safi go down. Horseman will take their 4th win.
A lot of bad fights there for Team Efficiency. Just not a very coordinated attack there. Especially their first engage where they had an Object 140 and a TVP fight 3 tanks together while Leopard was also like nearby enough to hit them. If you want to like bring this into terms of another game, fighting with a Leopard like that when you're down in tanks is like fighting under turret, like in a MOBA. It's like, well, this probably isn't the way. Like you're fighting with a disadvantage, and the Leopard's there doing a lot of damage, and you already know that. You already saw that. You already saw the tank lineup, and you've already
you already know he's there.
Like literally, the RU-251 has shot at him. They know exactly where he is. It's like just not a good place to go. The idea there was to surround and destroy them with that massive TVP autoloader damage. They wanted to kill the Object 140s first and burst them down. And then while they were on reload, they could just kind of run away and then re-engage with a tank advantage. But took some really bad fights, like 1v4s, a few of those.
A lot of 1v4s. The TVPs just were out of position. They needed to be in the fight, and I think it was supposed to be a surround, but they were actually just isolated, and then the 4 tanks of Horsemen were able to come and just blow them up right away. There was really nothing that they could do at that point. It was a little too late.
Yeah, it was definitely a bit messy there. Like the plan, again, the plan is good. Distract them, come around, surprise them. Even if they know you're coming, burst those tanks down, re-engage. The execution gets weak there.
All right, well, it looks like it's going to be match point now for Horsemen.
That's right.
They're switching sides again, so now Horsemen are on the attack, which means, still there is a high percentage that they may lose this because they're on the attack.
Yeah.
Because, superstition and all.
Superstition and all. The curse was broken, though.
Yes, that is true. Also, it is steps, and so it doesn't, I feel like this is one of the maps that doesn't really matter whether you're on, attack or defense. It's kind of like whoever gets there first.
Yeah, it's a positional map, and also it's a very, I feel like it's one of the most reactionary maps because the tanks are so fast and there's no obstacles to block you from, like, say, just driving all the way across the map. So if you suddenly see that what your plan was is incorrect or they're making a big push, you have to react like very quickly. You get to spread. You got to get somebody to go across the other map.
All right, guys, we're gonna be back on steps. This is going to be match point for Horsemen. Let's get to it. Set number 6, Team Efficiency versus Horsemen. Horsemen with 4 wins. It is match point, and they're going to be the ones on the attack.
All right, let's take a look at these tanks. Could be the last match for these two. TVPs for Team Efficiency, again, 3 of them. 3 Object 140s now. The
Team
Horsemen,
Efficiency playing a much faster composition here.
Yeah. Now, the Horsemen are running 2 E5s, an STB, and an Object 140. Like, they're running a composition we saw like 2 months ago on this map. But I like Horseman's composition. It's a lot more sturdy. It's going to be good in a longer fight. They're using Spencer to run across the middle of the map and scout.
Ooh, Maw being all fancy there.
Maw got some sick air there.
He did.
All right, we see a very interesting formation here for the Horsemen.
Oh, but that air is not going to help him. Maw's getting shot at by 3 different tanks. He needs to get away. He has seen enough.
He's seen too much.
He's seen too much. He's going to be traumatized, and none gets to him before he can get to his teammates for defense. Already, Team Efficiency is down a tank.
That was on an STB also. Like, that's a pretty hard shot to make.
Right. Well, with that move, it looks like Team Efficiency, they're all going to move out. They were all up north, but they need to position themselves better because they're expecting the Horsemen to come in and attack pretty soon.
Okay, here
Oh my God, are they actually just going for the Horsemen? They're like, we don't even care. We're just going to You killed our maw.
That makes people angry, man. You kill someone's maw, like, they get angry, like especially when it's Team Efficiency's maw. He's the best maw there is. Now, I think this attack is pretty ill-fated if they're really going to attack in this. Especially, it's like, it almost feels like Horseman expects this. On the attack, they are, again, as I made the joke earlier on Himmelsdorf, they're on the defense on attack. They're like up on top of the hills at the spawning point, waiting for Team Efficiency to do something stupid, basically. Is almost what I'd say. If I was Flus, I'd be like, let's wait for them to attack us. I don't think Team Efficiency is actually going to do something like that, though.
No, I don't think so. But you know what? They're pretty much all gathered together. You can see over there the TVP party. And I have a feeling that Horsemen know this. And they're heading towards that way. You can see that they are coming towards the 3 TVPs. Oh, dear.
Oh, this could get messy.
Oh, dear.
It's old school.
Old school
brawls here on
Spencer
steps.
Gets hit, but not too much damage on him, considering 2 tanks have focused on him. Dexter also being chipped away a little bit, and now it's a West Side story.
Yep, people are actually gonna back away.
This actually is like a West Side story where they're like snapping away right now.
Yeah, snap it, walk it back, go back up to the top left on the west side of the map even, and
that's why I said it.
Yeah, and I just I'm really surprised that Horseman hasn't made a more aggressive push towards base capture number 2 because like it feels like both these teams are really trying to do the opposite of what is the most efficient way. I mean, again, they don't see everything that we see, but we saw earlier, like, Team Efficiency was attacking into where Horseman was on a defensive setup, and now Horseman's going to attack into where Team Efficiency is set up.
I think Horsemen are going to come in. Yeah, they saw Team Efficiency back away, so they just bring in the rest of their tanks. They're like, you know what? They couldn't have gone further than X, right?
Sure.
And so they probably assume that they're all going to be in this northwestern corner. And all the members of Horsemen, I think they just want to go and eliminate. Yep, here we go. You can see the aerial view. Dexter is getting chunked down quite heavily right now. Oh gosh, 1430 HP. Those are some critical hits.
Dexter's out now, and this is a big problem as all the tanks are still alive here for the Horsemen.
Oh.
Down goes Momiji as well. Oh God,
all
Susie.
The TVPs are slowly getting chipped away. That's a lot of their damage.
Starts to look like Horsemen just felt like they had the better comp to fight like this because they do have those E5s.
Safi is getting hit on by Gorilla. Well, not in a good way.
No, he's not liking it, that's for sure. Idis is taking some damage here, but meanwhile on the other side of the map, Safi's getting very low.
Yeah, Safi he couldn't really move either because there was like the dead husk of a tank right in front, and he was kind of trapped. And now here's Idis, Scripts, and Skell, the last 3 remaining for Team Efficiency. It looks like Horseman may go ahead and take the 5-1.
Looks like it, Susie. Griff's down to 100 health, Idis at 40, now he's dead.
Oh, yep, Idis is dead.
Wow, they almost got it with a 7-0, like with almost a perfect game.
Oof.
And there you have it. Horsemen are going to take the win, and we'll take that 3 points home, basically securing their spot in the playoffs.
I think so. I think Horsemen with this win, we'll have to see. We'll have to see how Karen Tiger and B Gaming do at later this week and such. But as of right now, yeah. So Horsemen go ahead, take those 3 points, and now Team Efficiency just needs to take a small break. They'll come back and play the Immortals in the second match, and we will also come back in about 10 minutes. So take your break, and we will see you very soon. All right, guys, welcome back from your break. Hopefully it was a good one. We are going to actually skip match number 2. It looks like the Immortals were unable to get a full roster in on time again. Team Efficiency are going to go ahead and take the 3 points, which is good then, because then they lost 3 points the first game, and they actually come out with 3 points, which means they're in 6th place now,
Yeah,
and
they're safe for now.
Yeah, they're safe for now. And they are on that rank. Yeah, they're in the Gold Series still for next season as of right now. But Immortals, I don't know, just I'm not sure if it's a team issue or why they're not able to get all the members in on time. It's a little worrisome.
It is, because we saw this happen last season, right? Where at the end of the season some teams failed to show, and I feel like it's just not professional. It's just not how to run a team. Even if like it's like, well, somebody like, well, they're not a real team. They're playing. They've got real jobs. They got real lives. I'm like, well, I mean, what if like the coach for the Little League baseball team of kids like didn't show up? Would you be like, well, it's fine. It's just Little League baseball. I mean, like, this is actually like a serious league. I know these teams. Some of these are like at the bottom. They're probably not going to make the playoffs. I think it's actually physically impossible for any of the 3 teams at the bottom to make playoffs. But I mean, this is serious.
For the integrity of the league.
Yeah, this is serious business.
Anyway, I'm hoping that that's not the case and that there actually is a reason why Immortals didn't show up. But that means we go right into match number 3 for the evening, which is the one we were looking forward to anyway. EL Gaming versus Karen Tiger. So let's go ahead and look at the EL Gaming roster. All right, so EL Gaming, these are the guys that we've been saying are robots.
Yep, they are, bar none, the best team in Asia. Their results back it up. They're multiple-time champion winners. They won last season.
They made it to the grand finals, and they made it to 2nd place in the grand finals.
Yeah, like they destroyed a lot of European teams on their way there. They are so
and
good.
Russian teams. I mean, oh, goodness. Anyway, these guys from there playing in Asia has graced us with their presence here in the Asia League, and it's always so much fun to watch them play.
So right now, if you look at this team lineup, there are a few players that don't play all the time, like Shadows and Kui, ones that come mostly to mind. Flag also is not usually
too much,
playing.
yeah.
But I mean, the players like Fox, who's also now the team captain, incredible auto loader player. You've got Guan Ran. Let's not talk too much about it because I'm even talking over the Karen Tigers here, but that team is insanely solid.
All right, well, Karen Tiger, this is the Japanese team who last season were in 2nd place, and now Polly, Akiu, everyone on this list as well, we've seen quite a lot. Now, Opalisk was missing in the first half of the season, and I think he was away on a business trip or something like that.
Or his team beat him up because he planned autoloader strategies.
Oh my god, and then
really
he came back, and now they're all playing autoloaders, and we can't figure out what is going on with that. But apparently, Karen Tiger feel that it is a viable strategy, so we'll have to see if we see more autoloaders today, if it's Batchat Central. I don't know, playing against a team like EL, you really think they're going to be able to, they're going to go ahead and do a strategy like that again?
I think it's, I was going to say I think it's pretty unlikely, but I'm like, you know, it is EL, and EL is looking way stronger, so maybe they do try to experiment a little bit here. It's tough to say.
It's tough to say. I am looking forward to seeing if we're going to see that. All right, the maps have been chosen, guys. Here are the maps. We have Mines first. That's a little bit different. Himmelsdorf, of course. Cliff, Murovanka, we have Murovanka instead of Ghost Town.
Yeah, Ghost Town's
and
out.
Steps being the tiebreaker, not Cliff. Cliff is actually the third map of the evening.
So the first map and the third map are definitely going to be the more aggressive maps in this series. We'll see if we end up going to Murovanka or not, but Himmelsdorf is definitely going to be when things slow down. So we're going to have the 10th super technical aggressive map on Mines where things start off with a brawl, but then how do you actually kind of move out of that sort of engagement? And then we're going to slow things down for a little bit on Himmelsdorf. And then once everyone gets like a little bit slowed down, starts to feel a little bit sleepy,
Cliff.
Boom, exactly.
That would be really, really awesome. Though it is EL Gaming, we did see some very, very quick games on Himmelsdorf.
That's true.
With EL because they're robots. They're kind of programmed that way. We'll see if that's what we see. But first, let's go on to Mines. I think the game is ready, guys. Let's head into game number 1. Game number 1. This is EL Gaming versus Karen Tiger. EL Gaming on the defense, Karen Tiger on the attack.
All right, vastly, very different lineups for these two teams.
Whoa.
So, 3 STB1s for EL, 2 T62As, a TVP, and a 1390. So pretty big on autoloaders. And then Karen Tigers are going beefy. 2 IS4s, an IS7, one bat shot only, a TVP, an ST1, which I've never even seen before, and a Skoda to close things out. So Karen Tigers have been using a lot of IS tanks on this map when they're not spamming autoloaders in the lock-in screen. We'll see how they're going to play this one. They've also used a lot of Skodas, more than anyone else on this map.
All right. Well, the T62A, interesting. It's basically the beefier T54.
Yep. Yeah, it's a medium tank.
Yeah, we saw it. We saw it just recently. I think we saw it last week on Thursday. But yeah, this is interesting to see them put it out again.
Yeah, EL uses it more than anyone else, it seems like. So far, we haven't talked about what's happening. I mean, this is really standard. This is not that crazy what we're seeing here.
Yeah.
But what I do want to mention, though, is EL has not taken a single point.
Oh, nice. Went ahead and
nice.
hacked it.
I was talking about how you guys have been so good. But yeah, they've gotten insanely better trades here. Like, out of control better trades. And these STBs are really helping out with that.
All right, Guanren does take a bit of damage as well on his way into the mine. They're at that foot. This is kind of a very standard push, right? Everyone in the right position, trying to take lucky shots around the boulders and the bushes as they see fit. Polly and Fox, they're going to trade some shots right now.
Yeah, Fox and Polly both going to back off. Looks
But
like Fox
as
on
of
the
right
chase.
now, Karen Tiger is definitely getting the worst end of this trade-off.
Oh, you're absolutely right. Obelisk down at 400 health on that ST1, which I could only imagine is a Japanese tank. Down it goes.
Oh.
And Polly is now out of rounds here.
Yep, Flag just comes around. He's like, hey, big bro, I'm just going to shoot you in the face because you can't do anything.
Down goes
like Mom's
Pitsit.
watching.
Pitsit, we haven't seen Pitsit play actually every time for
Yeah.
Karen Tiger, so he's here. And also Flag is playing this game.
I noticed that too.
Shinoza's down.
Yep, he is down. There's only 2 more members of Karen Tiger after that little trade-off. I'm not sure. I don't really want to call it a brawl so much because it still seemed very strategic and, like a give and take behind all of the terrain there. But for sure, Karen Tiger they didn't luck out on the trades.
I think almost the best way to describe it was like a standoff. But there was constant aggression happening both sides. There's got to be like a technical term for this, even when it comes to like war, where you have 2 people, or say like 2v2 or 3v3, or any number of groups of people staying off against each other and like popping up and taking a shot and then taking back down and popping up. There's got to be like a term for this. Maybe duck and cover. But like, no, that's not exactly.
That's not it either.
That's like what you do in between, but I don't know what actually the term for this is. But yeah, we saw a lot of popping around the corner, take a shot, then hide, and hope I hit somebody. There was a lot of that going on, but EL definitely getting the better trades every time.
That is for sure. So yeah, on Mines, I mean, it didn't even matter who was on attack or defense at that point. But yeah, we're going to switch sides. I have a feeling it's going to be a pretty similar matchup.
I think so too.
And knowing Karen Tiger, they may not change their lineup.
I don't think they will at all. I mean, that's just what we've seen from them every single time, as this season especially, is we did this lineup of tanks, we're going to do it again. Sometimes it even bleeds into the third map. I'm like, you can't play the same tanks on Himmelsdorf and on steps. You can't do that, but they just keep doing it. And I guess they practice a lineup, you know, more than like preparing for the map specifically necessarily.
Maybe.
And we saw this even last season with them every now and then where I'm like, Obelisk, you can't play the Burt on this. You can't play it on Ghost Town. Then he makes it work. I'm like, well, they clearly practiced this. It just doesn't seem like they should use the exact same lineup, but they do.
All right. Oh, I have a spoiler. Karen Tiger changes their lineup.
Okay. Uh-oh. That's a bit different.
It is a little different.
Trying to take a look at who they're pulling out here. Oh, okay, I see it. Mm-hmm. It's very similar, but it is changed.
It is changed.
It is changed. It is changed.
Hey, that's a big thing for Karen Tiger, okay? They, you know.
Baby steps, right? We go from bleeding lineups into like 3-4 maps in a row.
It's like instead of a TVP, we have a bat shot.
Yeah, they're like, all right, well, we got to change one tank. Okay, we did it. Let's see what happens. That was also, if I'm not mistaken, a perfect game for EL. I don't think they lost a single tank that last game, even though a lot of tanks got very, very low.
They do that, and they're very good at maintaining their health, like just maintaining their viability, I guess, in this game.
They rotate weakened tanks to the back to where they can still do damage.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like someone who peels in a MOBA. It's like Blink Stalkers in StarCraft. You like keep the weakened tanks at the back. You actually make sure that they can still do their damage. Mm-hmm. And then you put another tank up. Then when that one starts to get low, you pull it back.
You just kind of switch them around. And yeah, EL just very, very good at that. So sometimes you just see all 7 tanks and you go, oh my God, they're all going to die. But they're all left, and 7 tanks that are alive, even with like 100 HP on them, still going to do a massive amount of damage.
Yeah,
so
that's how like you know, that's how this game works. Unless your turret is damaged or you got an ammo rack problem, if you have 1 health left, you're still going to do the same amount of damage as when you were full health.
Absolutely. All right, guys, we're going to get back on mines. It looks like the sides are swapped. We're going to head into game number 2. We've begun set number 2, EL Gaming versus Karen Tiger. EL with the first win, and now on the attack. Here is the tank lineup.
All right, here we go. EL Gaming, 2 STB1s, 1 Object 140. Getting in there instead of the ST1, not the STB1. And then 3 TVPs. Karen Tiger, 2 Batshots. Uh-oh, it could be like next game we get 3, next game we get 4.
Oh, shoot.
Just 2 Batshots, though, a TVP and 3 IS tanks with with an RU-251.
All right, well, Karen Tiger, they're going to all go ahead back into that mine area. It looks like RU-251. Obelisk is going to try to sneak his way, but nope, EL already knows where he's going to be.
It's Fox. He's got Eagle Eyes. Probably just changes the ID to Eagle.
Damn.
I mean, he's like so accurate. He's going to catch you through a bush on the other side of the map every time.
Wow, Black from the Lighthouse side getting shots on Modame. Modame already very low, under 1,000 HP.
Yep, and even though Nice took a little bit of damage, he angled himself perfectly. That's why the STB is strong. It's not like just people like it just because they're Japanese teams or whatever. I mean, some teams do, but when you see how Nice controls.
Nice is going to be the first tank to fall here. And it looks like Flag is going to be the next one. Karen Tiger really using their position very, very well to be able to eliminate the tanks that need to be eliminated.
Sure.
The RU-251. Yeah, I was going to say the RU-251 battle.
Yep. And look at the Karen Tiger tanks. You know, they are about to be up a tank here if they can actually finish off Flag. But many of them are weak and low. So let's see actually how EL can like try to finish this game off. They are on the attack, so they are going to have to make the more aggressive moves. Looks like they're going to go down to capture point number 2 and see if they can get Black into that capture point. He's not the most sturdy tank to keep in there.
No, he's not, but he's the closest one. Actually, it looks like he's going to avoid it. He doesn't want to call attention on himself at all.
Meanwhile, Guanren and Pitsit are having a battle. Here they are. Oh! Scary moment there. Guanren's like going to take a shot and walk out.
Guanren may take the slide or not. He's going to take the shot.
My God. He actually he might think he can just barely fire him at first. It's like going to be a draw battle.
Oh,
he loses.
Guanren goes down though. Pitsit, wow, with 12 HP left.
That was like a Western shootout, like who's going to draw
Yeah.
first. That was really close. Black wants to kill Shinoza so bad. Shinoza gets a kill on Newman first. Come on, Black, can you do this?
I think Black can do this. Black's going to take Aki first, though. He's like, all right, let's do 1 by 1. Now it's Modame.
It's funny because this is what we talk about the potential of when you have an autoloader versus a bunch of tanks with low health. We almost never get to see them
There
do
you
that.
go. He finishes off Shinoza. He's just 1 by 1. Black does go down, though. Polly snipes him from the top of the mine.
So we just saw an autoloader get 3 kills from behind.
That's so sick.
That's what a lot of autoloader players would like to do. This situation almost never occurs. But look at the lineup that we have left. Flag has 62 health on the Object 140, but he's got speed. Paulie has 233 health left. He's got damage. Pitsit is on a tanky tank, but it doesn't matter because he has 12 health left. So he's basically out of the picture.
Yeah, I love it. It's a 3v3, but like, you know, each of them have members that are just very, very low.
It's very scrappy. Like, this game is about to get kind of crazy. So Karen Tigers can play the defensive game for the main reason that they have 2 IS tanks, but also, of course, they are on the defense, so they have the time working for them. Fox does not want to fight Dekamori here. If he actually fires at him, this is going to be such a risk. Looks like he's just going to go for it.
He is going to go for it.
Oh my
I
God,
mean, why
so risky.
wouldn't he, though?
Well, if he actually was, if he did, he doesn't know where Paulie is, and Paulie is nearby. If Paulie had actually been looking at him, he would have been dead by both of them shooting at him. But as it is now, Fox has enough rounds to kill Paulie too.
He can do it. Paulie is going to come up to...
Oh, he's not looking the right way, though.
No, he is not. Fox goes down. It's going to be Flag and Reflection versus Dekamori, Paulie, and Pitsit. Pitsit still holding on.
This is actually crazy. Now, Reflection is going to have to be the spotter. Paulie can kill Reflection easily in a 1v1, but if they kill Paulie, I think Reflection can do this. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, oh my gosh. So here comes Reflection. I think his first... God, I don't even know.
His sixth sense isn't going off here. He doesn't know where anyone is right now. Or he has some sort of idea, but he has no certainty. And Karen Tiger's position is really good. I think Karen Tiger's going to win this game. I don't think EL can actually pull this off.
This is craziness.
Unless they kill Paulie. But look at how...
Or...
Karen Tiger knows that too.
Unless Karen Tiger...
Because they look at Karen Tiger's position. They put their IS tanks together for extra safety. The only tank that's vulnerable here and is their most important tank is Paulie. That's why Paulie is like so far north. He's basically off the map. He's like, no one's gonna find me. No one can touch me. If they come this far to find me, I'm gonna see them first and I'm gonna kill them.
All right. Well, EL needs to do something. I mean, they still have 4 minutes and 36 seconds. Okay. This is still plenty of time. Reflection, I think, is going to be on the faster tank. Try to scout out maybe.
So this is one of those games where it could go either way. One team has a massive advantage. If EL pulls this off, it'll be so impressive. And Reflection will have to be the hero here. Flag is still alive, but he's just really not going to be able to make any plays. Reflection is just looking to see if he can get a blind shot off on Pitsit.
Yeah.
He has no idea where he is, though. I mean, he knows where he is, but he has no idea, like, he cannot get a visual, so there's no way he can actually make a shot for sure. He's hoping for luck.
Ooh, Flag is in a really good position right now. He's going to see if he can take some blind shots as well from across the way.
This is so desperate, though. I don't think this is going to end up working out. And Dekamori knows where he is now, too. Dekamori could actually kill him if he exposes himself for too long.
3 minutes and 44 seconds. I think this is the longest game I've seen EL Gaming play.
You may be right. They usually do finish games off a lot faster.
Oh, Dekamori does get EL. Okay, Flag goes down. It is now up to Reflection.
Now, this is technically possible,
Yeah,
but it's really not feasible.
I don't think it is either.
I think he's actually just kind of like Hail Marying it at this point.
He's got nothing to lose at this point.
Like, Pitsit's looking right in this direction, too. Watch this. Going to be dead Reflection. That's going to be game. Oh, he misses.
He misses, and it looks
So
like
Pitsit
Reflection.
will die.
Reflection is going to try to take a shot at him, but he doesn't.
He doesn't penetrate.
No, he doesn't penetrate.
Okay, there's the penetration.
Oh, wow. All
but
right.
guess what? Paulie's on the way. This is still possible.
Oh, my God.
Again, it's not feasible. It's like not reasonable to even expect that this could ever work.
All right, Reflection was shot at by Dekamori, but does not get hit again. This is really nuts.
Oh my God, if Reflection does this.
Then they really are robots. I'm telling you right now, they are absolutely robots here.
Okay, look at this. This tank is in the way. That was a really good shot by Reflection. It doesn't connect, though.
His reload timer is a lot faster.
He's just gonna try to outmaneuver Dekamori. He's gonna try to drive past him, and he should be able to do it. Now, don't forget that even if he kills Dekamori, he will have to kill Pauly before this, or he could make a beeline for the base capture right now. I suppose it's still possible.
I think that's what he's trying to do.
I think that is actually what he's gonna do. I think this is smart, because 99 seconds, he still has enough time.
No.
He decides not to, though.
All
He's
right.
looking for Pauly. Pauly has come out, by the way. And don't forget about the UI. He does not have 1,134 hit points. That's a bug. Pretty sure he does not have that much health. I think that's actually bugged in our screen for a second. I think he's got much less than that. I think he's got like 230 hit points.
There you go, 500.
Okay. Oh, reflection Dekamori. He's not going to be able to outmaneuver him here, and Dekamori is behind that tank, and I think Pauly will finish him.
Oh,
That's game.
that was a nail biter though. Karen Tiger going to go ahead and take game number 2. That was the longest game I think I've watched EL Gaming play. They are not robots, indeed, actually. I'm really glad to hear that.
They're not actually perfect. They do make mistakes. God, I almost like don't remember what went wrong for them there, because that game was so fiery at the beginning, and then ended up being like a slow game at the end because it was like 2v2.
Yeah.
They did have Flag in their lineup, which I did not expect to see.
You know, I realized Karen Tiger have in the last 2 games have played a lot better and a lot smarter. This is the Karen Tiger from last season that I think I'm used to seeing, as opposed to the crazy batshot Karen Tiger. Almost as if they're like, oh, well, it's EL. We got to step up our game. And I really feel like that's exactly what they're doing. We're going to head into Himmelsdorf. They're able to, if they made mines an almost 10-minute game, I don't even want to know how they can maneuver with Himmelsdorf.
It's going to be a challenge for both teams. I feel like the most important thing to see for these two teams going into game 1 on Himmelsdorf, game 3 overall, is what tanks Karen Tiger bring, because I feel like EL is going to bring very standard. They might bring those T62As again, because they have done that a little bit on this map, sometimes. But if Karen Tiger's running, are they running the E100 lineup? Are they wanting to run more IS tanks? So they feel really comfortable with those right now. We saw them even use that on mines to great success. So I guess let's wait and see.
Yeah, we have to wait and see. It looks like they have most of their tank lineups. They're not switching up players.
Yeah.
Yeah, not that I know of. No players switching. It's just Pitsit that needs to get his tank picked, and then we can head into Himmelsdorf into game number 3. But yeah, I can't believe that EL Gaming game went past 5 minutes.
Well, they almost came back. Well, that's kind of a crazy thing to say. I would say like there was a chance, and it was starting to look like maybe it wasn't a 0% chance. But looks like everyone's in the lobby now, Susie.
I think so too. I see the go, 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 which means the battle is going to start in just a few seconds. Himmelsdorf is loading, and let's get into... Ooh, wait, it's still loading. Oh, there we go. Set number 3. All right, guys, here we are on Himmelsdorf. EL Gaming versus Karen Tiger. The score is tied 1-1, and it's EL on the attack.
All right, let's take a look at these tank lineups. Look at EL's first 215Bs.
Oh, these 215Bs are so popular these days.
It's a fad, Susie. I think it'll pass.
I don't know, man. It's like bell-bottom jeans.
Bell-bottom
jeans. They never
jeans.
really pass.
Well, there was the yo-yo fad in the 90s. No one really plays with yo-yos anymore.
Yeah, but everyone is playing with 215Bs, and people still wear bell-bottoms.
Well, if it is a fad, it's still very in right now. So let's see how this works out. And sorry if I offended any yo-yo enthusiasts, because yo-yo is pretty cool.
And I still love bell-bottoms. I'm still going to stay with bell-bottoms, I guess, like the...
oh my
let's hold
God!
That thought just
Tier 8 fight!
Opolis goes ahead, takes that first shot onto Flag. But Flag, remember, he is an auto-loader. He can unload and dish out damage. Opolis just going to get shot at over and over and over again. And that's going to be it. Boom.
Oh, so close.
He literally unloaded the entire clip on to Opolis. And that was a very, very quick death for one of the tanks of Karen Tigers.
Yeah. Well, Flag survives. It's actually a really sad sight, but it's mostly due to just simply the firepower. Oh, hold that thought. Shinoza found a target.
He sure did.
Reflection's going to go down. Oh, maybe not. He's got some support here. I didn't realize Fox was up on the high ground.
Fox is up there too. Reflection does go down. Ooh, that's actually a better trade, having EL's Batchat die, as opposed to the lightweight.
Yeah, and Modame's coming up. Fox might just get eliminated here.
Oh my gosh, if they can get rid of both of their autoloaders here, that's going to be something crazy.
Fox is moving back. Fox is looking to get a shot down onto the low ground before he goes down. Not going to happen.
Oh, Modame, wow. So that was not a good trade at all.
Nope. Shinoza nearly died, but he's still alive, which is the most important thing, as we discussed earlier. But EL is definitely not looking invincible today, and it's weird because they brought Flag, who I feel has not really been the problem either. You know what I mean? It's not like...
No, I know what you mean.
It's a bit strange. Like, it's definitely not the best EL we've seen.
Yeah, and right now they're focus firing onto the high ground, but they're not really hitting anything. I like this. Okay, so the 215Bs are going to go travel together as a pack. They're kind of like, we've had enough with getting damage done to us. Let's go find a target. Let's go hunting.
I was even going to say it must be demotivating for Karen Tiger to have Opalus, like their star player and most famous player, actually get destroyed by Flag. It's kind of like usually a bench warmer for EL. But let's see, that was really good trades here for EL, but they're very outnumbered, except in this fight where they actually have the advantage.
Polly is going to be the first one to be focused down while they just keep Dekamori on the side. Yep, Polly, goodbye, and then it's going to be Dekamori. A key is around the corner.
Dekamori is also saving Polly for a while. Guanren does turn around and make that shot, though. And you know what? If EL turns around, it's going to be crazy. Good focus fire again.
Flag goes down somewhere else on the map right now. I think EL might be able to do it. It depends on all their focus. Right, Newman does go down, though. You're right. 2 members left of EL Gaming. I can't believe how fast this game went down, especially on Himmelsdorf, especially seeing how long mines went last game.
Yep. Well, it looks like that's actually just going to be it. EL is going to lose this game. And I may be wrong, but I think this will be the first time ever, and this doesn't include the one time EL didn't show, but the first time EL has ever been down in a series since we started casting.
Oh my God.
Karen Tiger wins.
Right.
I don't think EL has ever been like 0-1 or like 1-2. Like, I don't think that's, I can't think of an example. I think this is the first time they've ever been like down in a series.
Today is the opposite day. Again, this is like really, really strange. Monday the 25th, man. It's just like a new curse day.
It's weird. Karen played that better, though. They had the better engages.
Just going up that castle side and eliminating the 2 tanks from EL right off the bat, that I feel like that kind of threw EL off guard just a little bit.
Yeah.
And that gave them the momentum swing that they needed to go ahead and try to get rid of the other tanks.
Fox had wasted all of his rounds trying to hit someone on the low ground.
Yeah.
So he couldn't really respond, and he was outnumbered, and he still almost escaped because he's such a god. But he ended up dying for free. Shinoza survived. Losing Opalisk early was not that big of a deal, as you mentioned. It's like, well,
it was a lightweight,
yeah, we got a 50B. You guys got the T54 lightweight. This is definitely a better trade for us. And by the way, a T54 can almost never beat a 1390 if they're like literally just sitting next to each other. One has a higher damage output.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that the 1390 is like OP or stronger than a T54. It's just that it has a limited amount of rounds, but all of them hit. And the T-54 couldn't use its mobility because it was literally pinned against the wall. So Opalus actually did quite well, all things considered.
All right, well, I think Pitsit is sitting out, and we're going to throw Tepco into the mix this time around on Himmelsdorf. This is actually interesting that they're changing it up mid-map as well.
Yeah, this is not very much like Karen Tiger.
And they're changing tanks. What is going on tonight?
What is happening?
I don't even know. Where am I?
So I'm trying to think of who is, this is actually kind of silly to say, but I actually can't put a finger on who we're not seeing for EL because Flag is in, because he's normally not.
Yeah.
Like, Black's in, Fox is in, Nice and Reflection's in, Newman's in, Guanren is in. Spring is not in. Spring is not in.
Okay.
I think that's affecting things a little bit. We'll talk about that a little bit as we get into this next game.
That's so true. Spring. Okay. All right, guys, it looks like we are ready. Game number 4 is underway. All right, EL Gaming versus Karen Tiger, set number 4. EL with 1 win, Karen Tiger with 2, and they're the ones on the attack.
So, EL, let's take a look at their lineup here. 4-2-1-5Bs, they're really liking that. An IS-7, pretty smart for defense. Waffen, E100, and then the Tier 8 Waffen. We saw some of his last season. So that's going to be 2 tank destroyers there, and then for Karen Tiger on the attack. An IS-4, 2 IS-4s, in fact, actually, they're just not next to each other in the lineup. 2-1-5Bs, 2 Bat Shots, and a T-54. So nice, well-rounded lineup here for Karen Tiger. And Modame is giving Paulie the push.
The push. Is that like the clap?
It's like the shove. Well, yeah, it's you know,
like the
animation looked a little bit like a clap.
All right, right now we see that, yeah, Karen Tiger, they're going to bring up a bunch of tanks up to the high ground here on the castle side.
Let's see if they end up taking the secret spot on the attack.
They don't.
They really really are valuing this high ground quite a bit. They really want to control it.
Yeah, they're kind of waiting for EL to possibly come up and they can eliminate a tank right away, just like they did last time around.
If Shinoza keeps doing this, Fox, I guarantee you he will punish.
Fox is just going to find him. Oh, wow, there's 5 members of them up here on the high ground. Okay, while this is going on, you guys can see that EL Gaming, there's a bunch of the 215Bs and the E100 Waffen.
Kind of strange to see 215Bs at base capture number 2. Also just on the defense. And
also, it's the IS-7 keeping an eye out on base capture number 1 with the Waffen in the C2 bar.
I think IS-7 got a girlfriend.
Oh, shoot.
He's just chilling. He's like, nah, I don't really need to go
Waffen's
C2.
like, I'll sit there. That's what I need.
Yeah. He's like, I'm not as cool as the Waffen on the E100.
Obelisk on the lightweight. He's testing ground to see if they can go and take this base capture number 1 over by the railroad side. But while that's going on,
this could be a diversion.
Yeah, I think so.
I think Obelisk may be designed here, or not as a human, but as like as his role. Ooh. I think he wants to try to get them to move towards F2, yeah, and then they're going to try to push down and take control of the A6, but showing only Obelisk doesn't threaten EL. They're like, oh, yeah, okay, there's always a T-54 lightweight down there checking. They need to show more, or abort that plan.
Well, yeah, they're not falling for that at all. Because here you can see on the mini-map, yep, and you can see on the big map here, the Bat Shots and Obelisk, they're just going to go ahead and move up towards the castle again.
Yeah. Moving now towards the courtyard of those Bat Shots. Maybe try to take a shot on that Waffen. I don't think Obelisk actually saw that. He definitely saw the IS-7 because it hit him, but...
No, the Waffen's the one that hit him.
Oh, it was? Okay, okay.
Yeah. And obviously, that C2 place is a place that everyone goes as defense, right? So that's where you expect someone to be.
Oh, it looks like they might actually try to collapse on this location.
I think they are, and at the same time, I think EL is just ready for them as well.
Here they come, Shinoza, Tepco.
Oh, wow, look at that, 2, 2, and 2 from all different angles, all different roads. They're going to come and try to get in on this base capture.
And Shinoza coming around here now with Tepco. We've seen them do this before on mines, where they tried to send the Bat Sheds on the back. Newman is trying to protect Reflection, but he's very exposed.
Dekamori and Obelisk, though, they both go down.
This is actually pretty messy. I feel like the plan was good, but God, EL is so good.
EL, they're just so accurate when it comes to brawls like this. Reflection right now, oh my gosh, look how low he is on health, but he's still hanging on and taking shots. He's gonna go ahead and shoot at Modame.
Paulie goes down.
Modame gets focus fired, and like I said, Reflection with 123 HP, still alive.
This is that rotation we're talking about. Look, Newman protecting him.
Still doing damage. Yeah. Aki is taking some hits.
He wants to kill Reflection, but it's not going to be worth it, even if he does.
Yeah,
and he doesn't.
He can't even get down there.
These Bat Shots are reloaded.
Reflection takes him down. Shoot.
it's poetic justice. Now the Batshats, the last tanks remaining. They will die. And a perfect game here for EL. No tanks destroyed.
Wow.
And they're going to tie us up at 2-2.
Yep, EL Gaming. They're going to come back and show us again how incredible they are when they focus fire things. Ooh, you do not want to be playing against them when they've got that in mind.
I mean, it's crazy because when you look at like any rational person, if you have like a blindfold on or you don't know who the player names are, and you look at this and you go, okay, who's going to win this fight? We got Batshats coming from behind. We got two groups of tanks that are like, we've got two groups of 2 tanks and then 2 Batshats, so 6 tanks moving in on a group of about 4 tanks. There's also 3 tanks like on the other side of the map.
Yeah.
And then there's Opolis on the other side of the map too. Who's going to win this fight? You like think 100% the Karen Tigers, the tanks that are surrounding, they're coming from different angles. These tanks aren't looking the right way because they're trying to block these doorways. And then suddenly these tanks come in and just get totally wrecked by like instant reaction time by EL, constantly looking, focus fire comes down. It's like, whoa. How did that even happen? I can't even believe what we just saw.
This is a very, very high level game here.
Yeah.
I mean, these are 2 teams for sure. Like we said last season, they were number 1 and number 2, you know, and here they are just really duking it out. Karen Tiger showing us great games, but still not quite where EL is.
I just feel like it's like I'm trying to think of 2 famous like fighters or something. It's like you have Mike Tyson.
I'm not going to be able to help you with
like,
this analogy.
Muhammad Ali, and like Muhammad Ali has like a sword, and Mike Tyson has like a stick, and you're like, I mean, I think the sword wins here in the fight, but it's like, nah, he's just too good. He's too good. He beat me.
You've totally lost me on this. And then he's got a pizza, and this one's got a burger.
Like the winner gets a pizza, but it was a Korean pizza with like sweet potatoes on it, so like
and
he
corn.
so he wasn't really happy about it. It was like really awkward, but
all right, I don't even know where we're going with this anymore. All right, guys, the next map is Cliff, and again, I think this is going to be a much faster battle. It's 2 versus 2 now.
Yeah.
And so, I'm like we're back to square one, pretty much.
Yeah, it's like starting a whole new series over, but it's really a best of 5. And not a best of 9, going to this intense, super fast map here on Cliff.
Yeah, and so who is on, let's see,
EL
is on the attack first. And so just looks like their tanks are picked. We're going to expect to see Batshats, we'll expect to see TVPs, and a lot of the object tanks, most likely. I think this is going to be a much faster game, and they're going to be ready to play. So... Yep, here we go, guys. I think we are ready. Let's get into game number 5. Here we are on Cliff. This is set number 5, EL Gaming versus Karen Tiger. EL and Karen Tigers, 2 games apiece, and EL now on the attack.
All right, let's take a look at these tank lineups because we'll see if there's a big difference between the 2 teams and how they're compositionally running this map. Because we've seen Karen Tigers go super Batshat on this map, but right now they're going 1 Batshat, just 1.
Yeah,
pretty
the
reasonable.
only difference is that Karen Tiger have a Batshat and EL have 1 extra object 140.
Yep, that's actually the only difference. As far as I can tell, so very similar comps. This is going to be all skill-based, basically.
I have a feeling, it's just going to be who is more accurate with their tanks, pretty much. That Batshat being able to dish out a ton of damage initially, but object 140s are just very... Oh
focus
my
fire!
God, that was some focus fire.
Oh my God! Dekamari's like shoulders stuck out of the side, and they were like, he is dead.
That was amazing. It was all at once, too.
This is actually insane.
What was I saying?
Aimbots turned on. What am I seeing? Like,
I don't even know what I was saying earlier. That was amazing.
Well, I think
they focus fired my brain.
Well, I think we were talking about like tank comps and
they're
basically the same.
I mean, object 140s are just very tried and true, though. I mean, they have a pretty good reload time. They don't have to wait forever like a Batshat does once their rounds are out.
They're consistent damage and speed. They've got mobility. Sick dodge.
All right,
doesn't matter.
Opolis takes out Reflection, but that's the only tank that's taken any damage at all, and that's just their RE251. So
like EO Game is like, oh, we could 6v7 them, no problem.
Yeah, Flag just comes around, takes out a key. Then they're like, nope, Obelisk, you took out our friend. We're going to kill you. Polly, I think you're next. I mean, they're just taking names one by one.
And don't forget that Newman is back up and reloaded too on the other side of things, so he can cut off the retreat.
Goodness.
And Flag is going to, it looks like, kill Polly here. Newman might go down. He's going to try to take
will.
the slide out.
I think he will go down, but it allows for the other 4 tanks to come by and clean up.
Oh
Tepco,
my God.
What's he going to do?
Susie, it might have been intentional too, because now Tepco can't slide. That would have been his like suicide attempt. He's like, I'll kill you or my tank blocks you from sliding.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, he did eventually get down there, but like that was sick.
Shinoza goes down, and yeah, Tepco is the last one left. He's like, wow, wait a second, what just happened? Everyone is gone from my team.
But when Dekamori, oh, hold that thought. This is actually over. EL is going to take it 3-2. But when we saw that focus fire in the beginning of the game, Dekamori was like, I mean, I would say probably less than 10% of his tank was exposed, and he got hit by 5 tanks within the span of 2 seconds of each other.
That was amazing.
That's the skill of the team we're looking at right here, right now.
That was absolutely amazing to see. And you can see that they all shot at the same time. They just exploded him. Poor guy.
Yeah. Their brains are connected on LAN latency. Like, they do not have any sort of delay between how they're responding to those commands. Really, really impressive stuff. So
Yeah.
I have worry for Karen Tiger on the second game on Cliff because it seems to be kind of brawl and focus fire oriented.
Yes, and again, they had, remember, almost the exact same composition. If anything, Karen Tiger had the bat shot, had a little more firepower in the beginning, but that didn't mean anything at all.
Yeah, and Karen Tigers, I feel like out of all the teams in this league, like literally out of all of them, they're the team that I feel like its lineup, Karen Tigers' lineup, can sometimes be like the make or break reason why they lose a game, whereas for most teams it's not really the case. It's more of like, accuracy and strategy. But sometimes for Karen Tiger, it's like, well, they went all bat shots. Did it work or did it not? We're not really going to talk about the accuracy. We're not going to talk about where they pushed. It's kind of like, this is the elephant in the room as they went all bat shots. But in this game, in this case, they're playing very standard, and it's basically a mirror matchup of
They
tanks.
just kind of got caught out and outsmarted by EL, just positioning-wise. I don't think Karen Tiger really did anything wrong. I think EL just did it better.
And the hunt was real. After they had the advantage, they were like chased and killed Obelisk, and it was like when Tepco got blocked from going down the ramp. I mean, again, I guess there's a chance that wasn't intentional. But I was looking at like,
that was so smart, yeah.
My tank carcass stops you from escaping.
Yeah, but you knew he went over there to bait out Tepco to come towards him and then have his 4 older brother gang buddies come and like shoot him in the face.
And even if he didn't die, like there was no way Tepco was going down that ramp because he was literally there blocking him. Unless he died, he's not going down the ramp. And even when he did die, couldn't go down there.
Yeah.
So,
okay. Oh, man. All right. Well, we're going to go ahead on to Cliff again. Change sides. Like you said, it probably won't even matter because it's a very brawly map. And
especially because they played it that way, too.
Yes, absolutely. So we'll have to take a look at the tank list one more time, see if it's going to be another mirror matchup-ish kind of game. Yeah, let's hurry up and get into the next game. Here we are, everyone. This is EL Gaming versus Karen Tiger, set number 6. EL with 3 wins, Karen Tiger with 2, and Karen will be on the attack.
All right, so taking a look at these tanks again.
Exactly the same as before.
Yeah,
it's
literally
exactly the same as before. The bat shot for the Karen, for Karen Tiger, and the extra object 140 for EL Gaming.
Yep.
Oh, Reflection, why are you taking damage, dude?
Yeah, this happens sometimes.
Oh, Obelisk, be careful. I'm like a mom yelling at them.
Well, I mean, as you guys know, this map is quite rocky, and it's called Cliff. There's all the rocky terrain, but the RU-251 has a very, very low plating. That's why it's so fast. So I guess if you go really fast, you hit a bump too hard.
Oh, Shinoza taking a bit of damage.
He'll be all right for now.
For now.
Their focus fire was not...
The brawl didn't happen right in the arena just yet. It looks like Karen Tiger are going to come up the western road over, just in the western side. I can't even... The little road there's a little opening. They're going to hide behind this big rock.
And don't forget that this rarely ever occurs on this map, but Opolis could start the base capture. He's actually really close by, and Guanren gets focused down. He's still alive, but very, very badly injured here. Reflection also taking some far-range shots. Tepco is going to be the target here.
Tepco does take a bit of damage. But yeah, Karen Tiger playing a little safer. They're using the terrain really for their advantage. Tepco does go down. Black kills him.
Almost looked like he lagged out there, too. I may be wrong, or his treads might have been damaged because we didn't have the focus on him, so we're not sure, but he was definitely stationary there. I would like to see Opolis threaten the base capture, but already an Object 140 tank, I think it's Fox in this case, is heading that way just to make sure. So it's going to be tough for him to actually do that now. I think he had an opportunity to threaten it, but I think maybe that window has passed.
Alrighty. This is a much slower game this time around on Cliff than we expect.
Sure. We anticipated a much more aggressive game like last game. Key takes a shot at Nice. Nice looks around and is like, I don't care.
You know what? This is really good position. EL Gaming still has the upper hand because they have the high ground. They're spread around all over the what's it called? The cliff, the lighthouse cliff.
And that's the more important one because it's the higher one. You can't really see that on the minimap, but it is the taller one. God, Nice is like, Key, could you stop hitting me?
Yeah.
You're not penetrating me, man. And now he's actually bought enough time for the TVP and STB1, Guanren and Newman in this case, to surround him from behind. Aki is going to engage them now and probably just get taken out.
Yep. Newman's like, I'm sick of you. You're done. He is done. Modame and Polly are going to show their face out now, trying to see if they can catch someone off guard, but no, Modame is going to be focused by 4 different tanks, get blown up, and now Polly's sitting there like, uh-oh, what do I do? Dekamori and Shinoza on both sides of this boulder going to take some damage.
Now, Polly is, I think, going to be the next one to fall here.
I mean, from afar, Reflection is taking shots at him from the top of the lighthouse. Polly is going to fall. Black may finish it off right here. Nope, it was Nice.
God, Nice done so much this game.
I know, and now they're going to just come around and see if they can finish off Dekamori and Shinoza.
Yep, this is one of those hunting moments. Now, the only scary thing here, actually, is that Opolis has started the base capture. I think they will easily be able to find him because they already know where he is.
Right, obviously.
And all they have to do is just come over there and stop that. And with 7 tanks to spare, I think it should be pretty easy.
Yeah, they don't even need to have... They have 3 tanks right now chasing Dekamori. Okay, that's done. Everyone else can just head over there. They know it's base capture number 1.
Obelisk.
They don't even have to go to him. They're just going to shoot at him.
Yep. He's like, hopefully. I'm like, nah, sorry, man.
No, man. Flag is just going to finish you off. EL Gaming go ahead and take their 4th win. That was pretty convincing. This is the EL that we're used to seeing on Cliff. But now we're going to head on to Murovanka.
So
it'll slow down a bit.
Yeah, Murovanka is going to slow down a little bit. Murovanka is kind of like a cross between Steps and Ruinberg.
Ruinberg, yeah, I was going to say maybe like Ruinberg.
Yeah, it plays a lot like Ruinberg, where you can see brawls and you can see big pushes, but it's usually a very tempo-based map where you see similar tanks, you know, medium tanks. You see the Object 140s, you see the STB1s, you sometimes see a tank destroyer every now and then. And like 215Bs are really strong on this map. But you always see like this slow push for the attacking team towards a base capture. Mm-hmm. The defensive team has to kind of rotate around and respond to that. It's like the new Mines when it comes to like how technical it is, because there's so many different choices you can make as the attacking team, and you can go somewhere, set up in a certain way, then rotate. It's a very flexible map. It's not like Himmelsdorf where it's very technical, but then once you do something, you can't easily move, because you can move. There is flexibility. There's no tall buildings. There's no huge streets where you're pigeonholed into staying on one street. You can actually go through the town in the middle of the map, gain coverage that way. It's a really good map. I'm surprised teams don't like it that much.
I mean, again, it was a new addition this season, and Cliff is an old and tried map, right? And so is Prokhorovka. So I'm sure that they know how to play on this. Murovanka, I don't know. I mean, just like nobody really picks Ruinberg now either. It just seems like a map where...
I feel like there's a lot of variance on this map. Like, sometimes you see teams win with a rush on this map to the base capture number 2, where they just like suddenly get tanks there and they win, or sometimes it fails. And We see that a lot on Runeberg too. We saw it last season. Like the only games like Run and TCG ever took versus teams that were way better than them. I always remember, like it's like when Run takes a game off Horseman, I'm like, yeah, it was on Runeberg with that crazy strat, and they like caught the Horseman off guard and they won. Like, there's a lot of that on this map.
A lot of that. A lot of just like crazy variants. Yeah, no, I agree with you on that. So, yep, it looks like Murovanka, everyone is ready. We're going to see who. This is game point, isn't it?
That's right. If EL wins this, they will take their 3 points. And
that solidifies first place for them, for sure.
Yeah. That'll be their 13th game, I believe. Don't quote me on that, but I believe this will be...
I think it is 13th. Yeah, this will be the 13th game played. All right, guys, it looks like it is ready. Let's get into set number 7. Set number 7, we are on Murovanka. This is EL Gaming versus Karen Tiger. EL Gaming on match point, 4 wins to Karen Tiger's 2. Karen Tiger on the attack.
Karen Tiger's gone nearly full autoloader with this. 2 bat shots, 2 TVPs, but they got 2 IS-4s. I think we're going to see a rush strategy here. The IS-4s are going to sit in the capture point. They're going to try to use the autoloaders to protect and win a fight by threatening with those IS-4s. That's my guess here. Now for EL, got 3 Object 140s, an STB1, 2 TVPs, and a T-54 lightweight. So more normal composition for the map.
Mobility here.
Yeah, definitely the name of the game.
Alrighty, so Obelisk already. Oh gosh, already there's just like a big brawl. Obelisk gonna drop like a fly, not be able to do much at all.
You know, this like almost never happens too. Always see like the tier 8 run in, and we're like, oh, that's dangerous, but he's always okay. Like in this case, he was not okay.
No, he was not okay. In fact, it was so not okay. Like the 2 members of EL Gaming even bashed into each other because they wanted to kill him so bad.
Yeah. Now Nice is a bit exposed here. He's going to be doing the same thing Opolis did, but notice how he escapes.
He does escape, and Polly is the one who's going to get hit. Nice does go down.
Yeah, it looks like I spoke too soon on him escaping there. I think he got hit. I got a crit hit on him on his way out. Maybe on his tread too, because he like slowed down suddenly. I see someone had repair notification on the bottom there. It might have been him. I couldn't see it fast enough. But
all right, EL Gaming grouping up all in the southern part of this map. Now look at them all go. They're going to try to get together and see what their next course of action is going to be. Remember, they are on the defensive side, and I stick with my theory that the defense is definitely the more beneficial of the 2.
Yeah, it definitely is. I mean, that's like actually a fact. On the defense, well, some maps are different, but especially on maps like this, I feel like Ghost Town is probably the only map where it may not be a fact. But on the majority of the maps, defense is literally going to have an advantage because they have time on their side. The attack doesn't, it's like, oh, well, attack gets like one of their tanks a little bit stronger to make it fair. No, it's not actually how this works. The defense always has that advantage.
All right, well, Karen Tiger, can you believe it's only been 2 minutes into this game? 2 minutes and 5 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of stuff has happened.
I know. Here's EL Gaming. They're just going to travel as a pack, see where they can go. I mean, if they could just hide it out as well, that wouldn't be too bad. Karen Tiger, they're the ones who need to make the move.
I feel like,
oh, shoot.
Oh, here we go. Oh, here we go. Shinoz is way too far forward. Now he's on the other side of the hill, so I don't see him yet, but 6 senses are going off, and look at that. Down he goes.
Oh, my God. That was so fast.
Look at Modame. He's like, oh, no, not me too.
Not me
Down
too.
he goes.
But again, because these are not auto-loaders mainly, the Object 140s reload so fast that they're able to, oh, my God, 3 tanks just dropped like flies.
In like 10 seconds.
And the way that they do it is staggered in a way that there's no downtime.
This is how EL played last season, but with T-54 lightweights. It's almost like they're stacked. Like, their tanks are on top of each other so they can maximize damage in the shortest amount of time possible without them being in the way of each other.
Oh, gosh. Okay, Pitsa trying to take Black down. Maybe Newman, he's like, I got to take one of you guys down with me.
The worst tanks to have left at the end of a game are IS tanks. They're so slow. They don't have a high rate of fire. Yep. Polly's gonna like be the obvious target here.
Yeah, it looks like Reflection and Guan Ren want to come by and get rid of the threat that can do a lot of damage. That's going to be Polly.
They basically just ignore the IS tanks here.
Well, no, Reflection's like, I'm a lightweight. I'm gonna go kill the IS.
Polly goes down, and Dekamori the last one.
Wow, that was
here.
a command. Oh my God, look at that. You do not want to be the focus of attention right there.
No.
EL Gaming very convincingly go ahead and take that 5th win.
They had some problems in this series. They did not look invincible. Flag maybe made some mistakes on Himmelsdorf, but you know, Karen Tiger, when it came to these more wide open maps, the maps that we saw EL look more confident on even last season and also in the grand finals last year, I feel like that's the map where you just can't touch them in any way. Like, they're so good. But Karen Tiger did play well, and they did play a little bit more standard than we saw the past 2 weeks, so that makes me feel pretty happy.
Me too, for sure. Let's take a look at the results for today then. Here is, here's the graphic for it. Team Efficiency versus Horsemen. It was a 5-1 to Horsemen in match 1. Unfortunately, Immortals, they're proving to us they are very, very quite mortal. I think this is the 3rd time now where they haven't been able to fill out a roster.
In fact, I wonder if they're still alive.
So they got the disqualification, the DQ, and Team Efficiency get the 3 points with the win. In match number 3, we just had EL Gaming versus Karen Tiger, and even the score says 5-2. EL Gaming pretty convincingly showed us how incredibly strong they are.
Yeah, the games that we saw, the last 3 games, like after we had this 2-2 score, the last 3 games were like almost perfect games. Focus Fire was really good, and they were very one-sided.
Very, very one-sided. All right, guys, well, let's look at the rankings now, how it goes down. EL Gaming, with 13 games played, they have 36 points, definitely wanting that number, keeping that number 1 spot.
Yep, now Horsemen did also move up further away from the pack here at 25 points.
Yep.
Looking at Team Efficiency, they actually
finally made to 6th place.
Yeah, they jumped up there, and I actually think they're gonna make it out. I think that they're looking stronger than Super Friends right now.
Well, Immortals have 1 more game to play or not play, depending on how they feel. PvP Super Friends as well. You know, they're on 12 games as well, so we'll have to see how they do. But yeah, it's interesting to see. 1 and 2 very close. 3 and 4 spreading away a little bit. 4 and 5 are very, very close. Again, 6, 7, 8.
And the 4 and 5 are the most important guys for playoffs.
I think so too. And it depends. You know, I really hope we don't get any disqualifications up that way, because that would just be really unfair.
It would be nasty. We saw it last season. It was scary.
Yes, we did.
I didn't like it.
All right, guys, let's take a look at what's going to happen on Thursday. This is the next matchup. We have B Gaming versus Immortals. Then we have Horsemen versus EL Gaming.
That should be really good.
Yeah, and then PvP Super Friends versus the Super Noobs. And that's going to be, oh gosh, what is that, 7th place versus 2nd place?
Yeah, and look at the first matchup. If the Immortals do not show, I guarantee you Karen Tiger is not going to be happy, because that's getting pretty close, scary territory there. Even Horsemen won't feel comfortable with this one. I believe Horsemen have secured their spot, but I have to do some more math before I'm 100% sure.
For sure.
But match number 2 is going to be really, really good. Like, if you don't tune in for anything else, tune in for match 2.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, that's going to go down on Thursday. It's going to be on the 28th, I believe. Right? In my mouth is right?
Yes, you're right.
+3? Yes.
Yeah, you're right.
All right. So, yeah, that's what we're going to do. We will see you guys on Thursday then. That is going to be UTC +8 or 9 p.m. Korea Standard Time. But for now, we are going to head to bed. So have a good night and see you then.